Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. And before we do, I've got the webcam on here really quickly here for a couple minutes in my offices. We actually kind of rearranged stuff in here because we're building our team, and now part of the team is working in the office with me in my office, and we've got other parts of the team over there. And actually, one of the guys who rents from me in my Entrepreneur co-workspace, we have a big old 8,000 square foot building here that I took over in 2010. And we've made it an Entrepreneur co-workspace, and Carrot has taken up a section of it right now. And the guy who rents a big office over from me on the other side of the building, he just bought the building across the street. So now we're going to be able to expand over there. So part of our team isn't working in the same office. Now get an office back, which is great. But I have changed things up a little bit. And one thing I would definitely suggest everyone do in 2016, if you have not had a chance to, and then we'll dive into the actual content at hand. I'm letting a couple more people trickle in here. But one thing I would suggest everyone does this year, because it's made such a big difference for me this last year and a half, is really focus on that work environment that you've got. Okay, really focus on what it is, that place that you're working. Really focus on making sure it's conducive to you growing, to you working effectively. Even if you have to invest some money into little tools. Like I've got a little stand-up desk kind of thing. My desk over there is a little bit messy at the moment, but I've got a stand-up desk that I move over to quite a bit. We have some of those kind of exercise ball things. We have these chairs in the office that different team members use as the ball there with a little back support. I would highly suggest to everyone just kind of get out there and make sure you set up your workplace, your workstation, whatever it is, that's conducive to getting you moving, to getting you going, to getting you excited and energized. And one of these days for Carrot members, for active Carrot members, we're going to dive in and show you guys how to set up kind of like what I call a war room. And a war room is really, really effective in making sure that your eye is always on that goal that you're shooting for, that your eye is always on exactly the right things you should be doing, so you're not wasting time doing a bunch of busy work instead of the right things. So this is part of our war room over there. We have our quarterly objectives for the 4 different teams in the company. Any team member can come in and take a look at that. Our core values are always up there for the team members. And then we have other things as well in our offices that dive into more of the strategy stuff. So if you're a Carrot member, keep an eye out in your inbox for a mastermind call on that topic here in the next month or two, where we're going to show you how to, with a very, very small budget, set up what we call a war room for your business. It could be your real estate investment business, or if you also run another business, to help you really grow the company and to help you keep your eye on that prize and stay focused. Okay, so before we dive in, let's get a quick roll call. Where are people from? Oh, Peter said audio is fading out. Can you guys hear me now? Is that better? And I'm going to turn off my webcam too, and then we'll dive into the call. That might be part of it. Okay, awesome, guys. So we have Virginia Beach, Denver, Phoenix. Perfect. Okay, cool. Yep, can you hear us now? Must have been just that the video was playing, so it's probably eating up some bandwidth. We got Wichita, Kansas, Vegas. Mike, good to see you, man. Yeah, good. I'm glad we had a chance to meet down there in San Diego. Awesome. All over the place, guys. Virginia Beach, California, Indiana, Austin, Texas. Cool. So basically we've got really, really great coverage for all over the country. And the cool thing is that everything I'm going to be showing tonight, or today, I guess. It's not tonight. It's noon right now. London, cool. We got someone from across the pond. That's awesome. Edgar Martinez, man. Dude, that name right there, it definitely rings a bell, because Edgar Martinez, and I'm assuming you're not the same one, was one of my favorite baseball players back in the day. Played for the Mariners. Awesome, Pennsylvania. Okay, cool. So we're going to dive in, guys and gals. And really this call, like I said, it's aimed on showing you what we've been doing internally here at Carrot, but also what we've been doing as a company in my consulting company. So I have 2 different main companies with that I run, in addition to a third company, which is my real estate company, where I buy and hold properties. And in the consulting company and in Carrot, the last 3, maybe 4 years, we've almost exclusively been focusing on this one way of generating our leads. And the cool thing is, it's something that is working in all these different markets where we're doing it in. And I'm not just saying different real estate markets. I'm talking, as I'll dive into here in a bit, the stuff I'm going to show you guys is a fundamental marketing strategy that we've been honing, that we've been refining, and that literally in the past month and a half, we've finally created into a framework. And we introduced that framework the first time. I was on an airplane and flying down to San Diego, actually, where I met Mike, one of the gentlemen on the call, one of our Carrot members. And I was really distilling down, okay, what has been working so good for us in our own business? What's been working so good for our clients in my consulting business, where we take on a very, very small handful of clients. I'm talking under 5 at any given time. Right now we've got 3, and they pay us a lot of money. I'm talking the one that is paying us the most is going to be paying close to $18,000 a month on retainer toward the end of this year. And we started out with that company closer to the $4,500 a month retainer. And we're in our 3rd year of implementing this exact strategy I'm going to show you guys today with them. And they're not a real estate investment company, but the same stuff we're implementing for them is the same stuff we're using to grow Carrot. It's the same stuff a lot of our most successful customers are using to crack through the clutter, the marketing clutter in their market. And it's the same strategy that I see us really doubling down on in 2016 and 2017. It's the same strategy that I really see, us really doubling down on with our clients and creating better training and really building our tool set out even better in 2016 to really be specifically geared for this. And if those of you who are Carrot members, awesome. We're insanely glad to have you. Those who aren't Carrot members, amazing. I'm glad to have you guys on the call. Hopefully we can dive in and show you some things that you can implement. But those of you who are Carrot members, a lot of the stuff that we're diving into, you guys are going to start seeing new tools being rolled out in Carrot over the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, even the next 2 weeks, that are going to help you do these things that I'm going to be teaching even better. Okay, it's going to help you so you don't have to go to this other tool to do that keyword research. It's going to help you so you don't have to go to this other tool to get your tracking right, so you know exactly where your leads came from. Okay, so keep an eye out for that stuff. But in this training, I'm going to dive into our #1 lead generation strategy for off-market high ROI leads, specifically for real estate, but we're going to show a lot of examples outside of the real estate market as well. Because like I said, one thing I really want people to understand, and I've said this many, many times before, is no matter what business you're in, you could be selling toilets, you could be selling orange pillows. I'm just saying that because I'm looking at orange pillows across the way here in my office. You can be buying and selling or renting real estate. It doesn't matter. You are in the marketing business. You're not in the real estate business. You're not in the toilet selling business. You're not in the orange pillow business. You're in the marketing business. Because without marketing, without being able to get the word out, without being able to tap into those conversations, like I'm going to show you today in my new framework that I call Conversation Marketing, without being able to tap into those things, you're not going to be able to sell those toilets, those pillows, rent those properties, or buy or sell those properties. So everyone on the call, quit looking for marketing tactics. Okay, quit looking for things that are just specific to, oh my gosh, here's how you get that seller. And really start studying marketing. Start studying how to be a good marketer. Start studying human psychology. Start becoming a great marketer. And the cool thing is, once you become a great marketer, you can basically write your own paycheck, because you can start and grow almost any company, as long as you start to learn that skill set of that specific trade, as long as you're a good marketer. And I can take these same skills I'm using to grow Carrot, that we're also using to acquire properties, that we're also using to help clients generate tens of thousands of leads per month. We're using all that same skill set that I've been honing and learning in marketing over the past 7, 8, 9 years to grow those companies. And if any of you ever want any type of side business where you do consulting for other people on the marketing side, I can tell you the money is great if you're good at what you do. Just like you can see with some of our big consulting clients. Okay. So yep, awesome, man. It's a new member right here. So all the way from London, we have a new member. Beautiful. Cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. And as we dive in, guys, if you have questions, pop the questions to the questions panel. This will be an interactive call for sure. I don't want this to be a call that's just kind of me blabbing. And some of you guys may have seen some of these slides. Mike, you're down in San Diego, so you've seen part of this presentation. I have adjusted it because we added on some since then and took out some since then. So There is going to be part that's different for sure. And but mainly the thing is that I want you guys to get away from this call is this new, easier to understand methodology that we've came up with just literally in the past month and a half that more easily explains why what we're doing is working so great. Okay, why what we're doing is working so great and how you can do it too. So one thing I want to throw out there first of all is, do you feel like this sometimes? And this is really describes me probably about every 3 to 4 months. Okay, every 3 to 4 months, I'll just stack way too many things on my plate. I'll be in 20 different directions, starting 20 different things, going, an inch deep and a mile wide. And I'll feel like I'm not getting things done. And the thing is, I started to feel this about 5-6 years ago in my previous companies, where we were trying 20 different marketing things at once. I'm exaggerating, but let's say we were trying 5 or 6 different marketing things at once. And we weren't really doing any of them great. But what we were finding over time that this one thing was starting to produce better return on investment. And I want you guys to focus on those words right there, return on investment. Because all day long, we can get leads through other sources. You can get leads through almost any source. But you've got to, of course, look at what is the return on investment over the long term. Because no one on this call should be focusing on just over the next month or 6 months or even 12 months. Okay, those on this call should be focusing on where do you want that business to go next year, the year after that? What's your 12-month goal? Of course, we need to have our short-term goals as well. But if we're not building a business that's going to get us to where we want to go in that 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, we're probably putting the energy in the wrong places. Okay, so if you ever feel like this, and if you ever feel like you're out there doing lots of different marketing things, you're diving right in, you're doing Craigslist, and you're going, oh my gosh, some people are saying I need to do YouTube, and oh my gosh, some people say I need to do this and I need to do that, and oh wow, I need to do Google pay-per-click. And if you guys saw my email, there was a massive shift in the Google search results that is going to affect Google pay-per-click. It is going to affect Google organic. Now, how much is it going to affect it? You don't really know for sure yet because it's literally under a week old. But we have been we actually noticed this change well before Google made the announcement. We just didn't want to, and they didn't really make an official announcement. People kind of called them on it, and they said, yes, it is a global change. It's going to affect their words at that time. The first words that Google said, it was about 19% of search results. And now we're finding it's growing because every search result we punch in, there are no ads in the right sidebar. So we're going to be doing a call specifically on that next week. So if you guys are doing any Google AdWords, or even if you're not doing any Google AdWords, if you're just focusing on SEO or just curious about it, that call next week is going to be with one of our trusted pay-per-click advisors, a person we do send clients to. He's an amazing pay-per-click, a guy specific in this industry. And he's going to come on and give the lowdown on what it means, what it's going to mean to your business. Okay. But the reason I'm even looking at this slide is, are you going in 20 different directions? Now, on the flip side of that, you see that circle with the line pointing out like that. Okay. You see that one. And what I want you guys to lock in your brain, and what I found as well a few years back when we started to switch our marketing over to this method, was lots of different marketing techniques and strategies can work. Okay, you guys have seen people say Craigslist works. You guys have seen people say YouTube and pay-per-click and SEO and direct mail and bandit signs and knocking on doors. All those things work. But where do you put your energy at any given time? Because if you're trying to do them all and trying to be perfect at them all, you're probably going to do all of them very, very badly. You're going to get frustrated. You're spending time and money in all these different directions, wondering why things aren't paying off. But as soon as I started to focus my energies on the things that seemed like they were going to give me the best long-term ROI, I'm talking long-term ROI, okay, I started to focus my energy there. And when you have that excitement and singular focus, things really start to take off. And some of you may have seen this picture in a webinar that I did to Carrot members here a little bit ago. But one thing that's really important about this picture is that circle with the long line pointing up, that line is the exact same length of all of those other lines, those arrows on the left side energy circle. Okay, so what that's illustrating is you're putting the same exact energy or the same exact money or time or whatever you want to put in that circle into each one of those 15 different things as you are into that one thing. but those 15 different things don't go very far. They get half finished. They get half results. You didn't put the energy into it. So what I want you guys to do is really, after this call, start to pinpoint what is that one or two things I'm going to put my energy into, all of my energy into, marketing wise for my business. Okay, marketing wise for my business the next 6 months, and perfect those, make them amazing. And then as you go and as you systemize those, then you can start stacking on the other types of marketing. Okay, if you're going to focus on pay-per-click, which is amazing, focus on that the first month, 2-3 months, almost singularly. I'm not going to say that that's all you should do, but I'm saying you should pick one that you're going to dominate and become an expert at or get really good at while you're starting to toy with and build the foundation of the other things. Okay, and one thing I want you guys to do here, I want you guys to do this right here, this is something I did several years back, and the reason I'm doing this, it will become very, very clear as I dive into this call and talk about conversation marketing. It's going to be very clear why I'm walking you through this exercise. Right now, you may be going, oh my gosh, it's like a mindset call. and part of it is, part of it isn't. But without nailing this side of it, doing conversation marketing effectively is not going to be very, as easy. It's not going to be as easy to crack through that clutter in your marketplace. Okay. So in my business, before founding Carrot, I had several other companies. I've been investing in buy and hold real estate since 2004. And when I started Carrot, there are certain things I loved about the business that we were running before, and certain things I just really did not like. So going into this business, I said, you know what? We're going to give it our all, and I'm going to write down some non-negotiables for what I'm going to do in this business. If things do not match this, I'm not going to do them. And that could be okay. If the marketing in the business does not help us lead to this, I'm not going to do them. If this doesn't help lead to this, I'm not going to do it. And my non-negotiables are singular focus on the big thing. Okay, so that's one of the biggest mistakes that I find when we talk with a lot of real estate investors. The advanced investors who are doing a lot of deals do not have this problem. Okay, they started out their business with that singular focus. Okay, they got crazy focus on what that strategy was going to be. They're going to focus on. They weren't doing flips. They weren't doing flips, rehabs, wholesales, rent to owns, and oh, by the way, let's also do some short sales. Oh, and let's do some buy and holds, and let's do this. They weren't doing 5 or 6, 7 things. They were going after and saying, you know what, I'm going to crush it on the wholesaling side. Okay, I'm going to crush it on the flipping side. And once they get that systemized and that team built up, then they start to add in the other things. Okay, so make sure you're focusing on the big thing. And that also applies to marketing. What is that big opportunity? What's that big thing on the marketing side that you should be focusing on? Get that, focus on it, get really good at it, or have someone get really good at it for you, and then implement the other things to stack on top of it. Have fun and have a big mission. I believe in it at my core. That was one of my non-negotiables. Consistent and predictable. And this is a very key one for today's call, because with a lot of different types of marketing, it can be very inconsistent and very unpredictable. And I wanted to make sure with this business in particular that all of the marketing and the way that we set up the business was conducive to being consistent and predictable. Okay, because once you can have a business that's consistent and predictable, you can start to feel that freedom and start to feel that peace of mind and that accomplishment with the business that you started. When you have those months are like boom and bust, where you're making $5,000 one month and $25,000 the next month and 14 and then 100,000 and 12 and then 2. It's the biggest emotional roller coaster. Even though at the end of the year you might be making good money, it's everything but consistent and predictable. And that's not why you started this business. So you've got to make sure that your marketing is helping you get there. And too many people are going out there doing marketing that is everything but producing consistent and predictable results. What I'm going to show you today is the most effective and most consistent and predictable type of marketing I've ever done. And it's amazing. And it's working really well for our clients. We wanted to build a long-term valuable asset. Same thing. It's really hard to build a long-term valuable asset that you can potentially sell or build a team around without having consistent and predictable revenue. Okay, and then live on purpose and have unique within my unique abilities. So I would challenge everyone on the call to come up with your own non-negotiables. It can be 1, it can be 3, it can be 5, it can be 20. I don't care what it is. But come up with your own non-negotiables for what you will absolutely not negotiate with in your business. Okay. And then whatever those become is how you should be facing your major decisions on with your marketing, with the type of business model you're creating, things like that. You cannot doing it the other way. Not creating your business model and then going, okay, what type of marketing should we do? It's going, hey, what type of business do I want to build? And now, okay, what type of marketing or what type of people do I need to get on my team to build that business? Okay. And as we've done it, this consistency and predictability has been really cool for our clients. And it's cool kind of getting those notes in from our customers and stuff. We want the same thing for you guys. And along with creating those non-negotiables, and this fits directly in line, guys, with what I'm going to teach you here. This isn't just me saying, hey guys, here's what our mission. This is as example for what our mission looks like, so you guys can start to create your own. Because what we have found is businesses, especially real estate businesses, who have a mission that their clients can tell that they believe in, that their clients can tell is true, that their clients can tell is something that they can get behind. Guys, I'm telling you, people are always looking for reasons not to work with you. Okay, people are always looking for reasons why they should or should not work with you. And I can tell you from experience, when you build your business off of mission, when you build it off of passion and more than just turning some deals and making some money, I can guarantee you your business is going to grow because of it. I can guarantee you people are going to choose you in your business because of that mission, that thing that they resonate with you. You know, for us, I mean, at our core, this is just what I'm excited about every day, to create simple but crazy effective software, tools, training, support for entrepreneurs. Notice I did not put real estate investors there, okay? Because for me, my mission's bigger. You know, we're working with a lot of real estate investors right now, and we will continue to. But I'm really passionate about all entrepreneurs, okay? So you can do more of what makes your heart sing and less hassling the tech and marketing issues that hold you back. Certain people will see that mission and go, oh my gosh, those are the people I want to work with. What's your version of that in your own business? And if you guys are thinking, no, I don't need a mission, I'm just out there wholesaling, you guys are sadly mistaken. Your business is probably going to be one that you're going to end up not enjoying in a year or 2 or 3 years. It's probably going to be the one that does not cut through the clutter of marketing in your marketplace, because your marketing is just like everyone else's. It's marketing, hey, we'll buy your house. Hey, we can close in 7 days. Hey, we've got cash. Hey, this, that. You know, your message is the same as everyone else's out there. So how do you cut through that clutter? How do you cut through that message? It's by being yourself. It's by showing people who you are, why you do it. It's selling why you do the thing you do, not what you do. As Simon Sinek says in his famous TED Talk video called Start With Why. So this is homework number 2. And I know you guys once again did not come here on this call to go, okay, I need to create a mission. But what I really want to get across is I can teach you the most effective marketing strategies in the world. And if you're building it on a straw house, if you're building it on something that isn't going to last or isn't going to resonate with you or your clients at their core, you're really not building the thing up to the potential that you could. And does anyone on this call want to build something half-ass? Does anyone on this call want to build something that does not help you most utilize your unique abilities, your biggest contribution in this world, and connect with those people that you want to help in your mission? Who does not want to do that? I think everyone on the call wants to do that. You know, if your back's against the wall because you need to make some bucks, yeah, I mean, you got to take care of that. But you have to have something that you believe in at your core that we can relay this message to our clients, leveraging the things I'm going to teach you today. So what's that why for you? What is the why? Why do you do it? This is exactly what we're going to start mixing into our content. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this, how to use conversation marketing and mixing this in. So your prospects see you and the other 15 or 20 other house buyers or rent to own practitioners or whatever the heck it is that you do. So they can see the 15 or 20 other people in your market and they zoom directly into you and go, these are the people I want to work with because they connect with me, because they are the real deal, or at least they seem like they are very trustworthy and they're the type of person I want to work with. That's how you cut through the clutter. It's not with a hyped up headline. It's not with something that says, I'll buy your house in 1 hour versus 7 days. Okay, it's not by having a bigger logo. It's not by having different colors. It's by connecting with that person who's starting a conversation online in a way that they can see you as the only viable option to do business with, because you guys connect at a different level other than just the fact that you can buy their house or sell them the property. Okay, what's that why for you? And I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you in a big way, because if you don't find this stuff, like I said, I can guarantee you in 6 months, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, whatever it is for you, you're going to be looking back and going, damn, I really wish I would have done what Trevor did on that call, because this business I built, I hate. This business I built, I'm not having fun. This business I built, yeah, I'm helping people, but it's not the contribution I want to make. And it has nothing to do with the actual business you're in of, selling houses or buying houses for things like that. It's the why behind what you're doing and how we relay that to our clients. So what we're going to be diving into on this call is showing you how the strategy will help the leads come to you, how to get the prospects when they're ready to be helped. And you're automatically seen as a helper versus a bottom feeder, or just someone else who just putting the same message out there, and puts you in a really big position of leverage in terms of higher ratio of your leads to deals. And you're not really competing against the same darn lead as you are with the direct mail and things like that, where someone's getting 30 postcards in their mailbox all the time. Your lead cost decreases over time, actually. Okay. And what we're finding is you'll put in, and I said it in the emails, this is not a beginner's call. Okay. This is not a call for someone who hasn't been doing anything yet, who hasn't launched a website, who really hasn't stepped out there and started to learn how to even negotiate a deal yet, things like that. This is for the person who wants to ramp things up. This is for the person who wants to treat your business seriously and crush it in life and take things to the next level and really cut through that competition clutter. Okay. So this new methodology that I created while I was on the airplane flying to San Diego, and like I said, I was really trying to formulate. Now, we're doing the exact same thing for this huge flooring company that sells almost $700 million worth of flooring in Home Depot alone every year. We're doing the same thing for them as we're doing for our business here at Carrot, as we're doing for our real estate investor clients, as we're doing for our other clients. We're doing the same darn thing every time. What about it is working? What about it is what is it that we're actually doing? And when I was on the phone with the CEO of the company's called Halstead International, and they're a big company, almost $1 billion a year company. We like I said, we're going into our third year with my consulting company in implementing this strategy to them. And when I was talking to the CEO 3 years ago, pitching the original concept, I kept on leading with the word conversation. There's always a conversation happening about your brand, about you as a person, about your marketplace, the things in your marketplace. There's always these conversations happening. And either you as a person or business are listening to those conversations and paying attention and engaging, or you're not. And when you're not, that leaves the door open for others to fill that void. So it could be your competitors. And let's kind of roll this back now to even at a very personal level with your spouse, right? There's always this internal conversation going on with your spouse. And if you're not engaging in that conversation, listening to what they're saying and engaging in that, you can bet that they're going to go elsewhere to get that engagement. You can bet that they're going to go elsewhere to get that conversation. Okay. And the same thing is happening with your motivated house sellers. The same thing is happening with your cash buyers, with your private lenders, with your rent to own tenants, with your land sellers, things like that. So this is what I call the core conversation. And it's really in three parts. With this, what we found works so well is you want to start with your brand. And I don't want to scare you with the word brand, because you could be brand new, or you could be, have a few deals under your belt and like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have to set up logos. I don't want to set up business cards and letterhead and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay. No matter if you have a logo or any of that fancy stuff, you have a brand. Okay. Your brand is what your clients perceive is your company. That's the perception that they have of you. It's not what you have, not the perception you have of yourself or your business. So the first thing we got to do, we got to tie up the brand. And I'm sure you guys exactly how to do that. So if you're doing direct mail and you don't give a crap even about online marketing, I'm going to show you guys why this is so important, why the core conversation is so important. And you're probably losing tens of thousands of dollars per year just by not focusing on that red dot, just by not focusing on the brand conversation. Then we're going to go into discovery. This is where people are looking for solutions to their problems. They're asking questions online. They're looking for those solutions. And they're discovering. They're out there in that discovery phase. How do you get in front of those people? How do you put a message in front of them that's going to resonate with them, that's going to crush it with them, and get them to work with you and cut through that clutter? And then we go into what I call evangelism. This is where once you start to get those deals and you're closing your deals, you turn your customers into your best salespeople. And that's one of the biggest ways we've been growing Carrot is we're implementing this framework. We're implementing this exact same thing. We started with a brand. We got to tie that up. Then next we go into discovery. And then we start to really have our customers tell those stories about what they're doing with Carrot. And that's what's driving our growth. It's the exact same thing with Halstead. We took them from number 8 or 9 in their category online at HomeDepot.com to number 1 6 quarters in a row. That's a big deal. And Home Depot's talking to them going, what are you guys doing? And they're saying, well, we've got a team implementing some stuff for us. Guys, it's this exact same thing. Okay. So imagine for a second that you're in a restaurant. It could be a networking party. It could be a restaurant. It could be whatever. And imagine for a second that you're in there and there's conversations happening, and there's all kinds of conversations going back and forth. 1 second, guys. I need to text my wife. And I apologize about this. We're trying to sell our house right now, and my wife is away, and the real estate agent's wanting to get into the house right now. And my wife's saying, call me back. Anyway, so imagine for a second that you're sitting down at a networking party or sitting down at dinner or whatever, and there's people there that you don't know. Okay. So you're just meeting some new people. And you see some people talking, you go over there, you sit down next to them or standing up. And just imagine two different scenarios. Scenario number 1 is you go over there and, or someone else comes over to you and you're in a group and they say, hey, I'm Mike. I'd like to buy your house from you. And, that's scenario number 1. Now, scenario number 2 is they come over and they engage in a conversation. They say, hey, I'm Mike. Nice to meet you. And they start to ask you questions. They start to engage. They start to listen to what you're saying. Okay, too many people are doing what I call interruption marketing these days, where they're that first guy. They're the first person who walks up to that group and immediately drops a message in front of them that may not even be remotely, related to how you can help them, to what their actual needs are. That's the equivalent of what a lot of direct mail is. And I'm not saying direct mail is bad. I think direct mail is amazing if you do it right. And it can be great in conjunction with what I'm going to be teaching today. But it is an interruption marketing piece. The best possible scenario, I think all of us can agree, is that you're sitting there, someone comes up to you, they start asking you questions, you start answering their questions, you're listening, you're engaging, they say, hey, you know what, can you help me? Like, that's the best scenario of everything. And every single day, those conversations are happening in your marketplace. Every single day, if you're a big enough company, even if you're doing 5, 10 deals a year, or 50 or 100 deals plus a year, there is for sure a conversation about your brand that's happening, and you may not even know what's going on. Okay, and kind of going to the direct mail side, just to kind of prove what interruption marketing does versus conversation marketing. Is kind of like, who on this call does direct mail and has gotten this hate mail before? And the first thing is, I don't want to discourage anyone from using direct mail. Like I said, it works. I know people who their livelihood is ran on their direct mail campaigns, which is amazing. But you can stack on conversation marketing, make your direct mail even more effective. But when you are sending direct mail, people are kind of a lot of times the people don't want it. You're interrupting the conversation. You're not joining a conversation that's going on in their mind potentially. You might not even be answering questions they actually have in their head. You're putting out solutions that you don't even know if that's what can help them. Okay, so you can see this one over here. We're not interested in selling. This is beginning to look like harassment. Blah 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 blah. Over here, my friend John Paul Moses, JP. He sent out some letters and gets 2 from the same person, big old fat nose on there. And yeah, I mean, that can be pretty demoralizing when that happens. But like I said, don't let this shy away from direct mail or something that is working for you. I just want you to have a mindset shift on how things are heading and how they have already started to head with marketing and marketing messages. There's so many darn marketing messages out there that people are getting hit with on TV, radio, your cell phone, Facebook, your mailbox. I mean, everything you can imagine, billboards. And certain things are not going to cut through that clutter. And the interruption marketing is the stuff that cuts through the clutter probably the least. The stuff where you're actually listening to the conversations cuts through the clutter the most. And this might look familiar as well. So if you're sending direct mail, that person might be getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 mail pieces. And hopefully where you're putting up bandit signs doesn't look like this. This is kind of over the top, but hopefully it doesn't look like that. So how do you really connect with that person and get rid of that competition? How do you get rid of that clutter in your marketplace? Okay. So you might be asking, so does this stuff work, right? Does this conversation marketing stuff work? So over the past 6 months alone, over 86,000 leads, 86,692 leads to be exact, have came in through our platform in the past 6 months alone. And that does not include phone call leads. So you can add on another 30, 40, 50, 60,000 phone call leads there. We don't exactly have the numbers because we can't track all the phone call leads from our clients on our websites, but we can track the opt-ins. So that's almost 90,000 leads opt-in, well over 100,000 leads when we count phone call leads. And the vast majority of these guys and gals have came from the things I'm going to be teaching today. You can see in that graph there, if you look kind of further, number 4 on that lead source is Google CPC. That means Google cost per click, or it's pay per click. So out of those 86,000 leads in that chart, only 3,600 of them came from Google pay per click. Okay, very few of them came from other sources. Facebook mobile actually has been climbing and climbing and climbing because we found it's working so great on mobile and on Facebook to build a cash buyers list. We're starting to make it work a little bit on motivated sellers with retargeting, which we'll teach sometime in another future mastermind call for active carrot members. But the vast majority of them are coming from conversation marketing. People going online, starting conversations and searching for solutions to their problems. This is happening every day, every minute, where people are looking for a house to rent, a house to buy, looking to sell their house, and they have all these different situations. So how do you tap into those conversations? And retailing today, you guys may have seen the stacks. I've shown it before, and then I'm going to dive into the 3 phases of the core conversation model right after this. But it's kind of trying to hammer this home, how darn important this is today, and it's getting more and more important as we go. That 81% of people research online before making big purchases. This includes selling their house, buying houses, rental properties. It includes if you're doing direct mail. If you're doing direct mail, one of our clients, Chris Chico, came to us about a year ago and said, hey, our acquisition guys are saying, that the people that we might have lost some deals because some people are going online to research us and we didn't really have a website to build credibility. And so they bailed thinking we weren't real. How many people on this call do that research yourself when you're making these things? Even if you're buying a darn TV, you probably go and research it online. So as you can imagine, people who are looking at selling their house, they're probably doing some research about you and you don't even know it. So what is it that they're seeing? So we're going to help you tie up that brand side of things first. And the way that we've been growing our company here, the way that we've been doing things with those clients and with the real estate investors, it's working so well, and we're really doubling down on this. It really makes it seem like it's like those leads coming up to your door and knocking on your door, okay, versus you knocking on their door and kind of setting them back on their heels. They're coming to you and saying, hey, I've got this problem, can you help? And it really puts you in a position of expertise and power. This is how you cut through the clutter. This is how you cut through the clutter. It doesn't matter if 400 new people in your market start the same direct mail campaign. If you're able to cut through that clutter and really tie up those 3 sections, brand, discovery, and evangelism, like I'm going to show you, you're going to crush it. Okay, you're going to take over that market. And people are going to look and go, yeah, there's a lot of other options, but these people over here are the ones that I want to work with. Okay. And like I said, I really want to preface it with this, that this is not a strategy. Like, guys, I'm really, this is an advanced strategy. It takes a good amount of work, but the thing is, it's the highest return on investment that we've ever done in any type of marketing. And Josh from California says, we've also been getting a lot more consistent with online lead gen. This is just here a couple months ago. It took a while to get established, but it's very consistent now. So you can see that word consistent he's used twice. That's a big, big deal. This type of marketing does get very, very good consistency once you put in the work. Closed 10 deals this year from Carrot. That was last year. He's closing even more now. But the margins are always higher from his internet leads. Okay, that's huge to picture right there, guys. Because you guys can be great. Let's say you're getting 50 leads a month or 50 leads a week from your direct mail, and you might be going, okay, well, how am I need to generate 50 leads a week on online to match it. Well, we're not finding that's the case. We're finding that oftentimes we're able to close a higher percentage of our online leads, and also, like Josh is saying, those leads turn into a higher profit deal. So you might only need 20 or 30 leads to equal the same amount of profits that your 50 direct mail leads did for you. Okay. And so I mentioned the pay-per-click changes that have happened and the SEO changes that have happened just over this past week. And you guys are probably going, okay, so I'm not really sure. Should I do pay-per-click? Should I really focus on SEO? We do have an infographic on our website. You guys can find it at oncarrot.com/blog. And then just kind of scroll through some of our blog posts there that really compares the two. And we're going to mainly focus on the organic side of things, the SEO side of things in this call. Next week, we're going to be doing a call on pay-per-click. Okay. But as you can see, the time to results. So with conversation marketing, you're not going to see instant results. You're not going to be able to turn on some ads with conversation marketing and have leads coming in like today. Okay, you can have that happening with pay-per-click, and that's one of the amazing things about it. We really like pay-per-click. It's something that we suggest all clients who have that budget do pay-per-click at some point in your marketing strategy. Okay, but this is why we really love this strategy long term. And who on this call just wants to think about the money you're going to make in the next 6 months and not how much you're going to be making in the next year, 2, 3 years? And I think it's probably hardly anyone, right? Everyone on this call wants that long-term, predictable, consistent growth, that long-term, predictable, consistent business. You don't want to have to turn around in a year or two when the market completely changes and you're going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Now, how am I going to roll this back up? Because my marketing isn't consistent. What we find with this is at the start, you're going to have a higher expense. You're going to have a higher expense and possibly higher time, or for sure higher time if you're implementing it yourself. And you're not going to be really getting much for leads. But just like Josh said in that last post, he said, you know what, it took some work, but now it's getting really consistent. He's closing deals. So he's going to be closing even more deals from that source this year. It just keeps on growing and growing and growing as things mature. On the pay-per-click side, you can get that break even point a lot sooner, but you're probably not going to see as much growth, and your profit margins are definitely not going to keep on increasing like they do with this conversation marketing side. Okay. And like David says, my content marketing cost per lead is a fraction of what I pay for any other of my leads now. It took work, but it's paying off in a big way, and I'm shifting my focus almost 100% to that now. So let's dive in, guys. Part 1, brand. Okay, controlling the online conversation. And then if we have time, we'll talk about some tips to convert those visitors into leads at a higher rate if we have time. Okay, because I know we're shorter on time today. So first of all, guys, we're going to start on the red dot. And we want to control the conversation around your brand first. And when we started to do this for the flooring company, for our own company, for the higher end clients that we're working with in the real estate investor side that are doing, hundreds of deals a year or at least over 50, we always start with the brand first. And the main reason for starting with the brand is people do their research before they make big decisions. Now I'm going to hop out of here to make sure we're not having any audio issues or anything. Okay, cool. Yeah, Michael, I'll answer that question in a bit. Michael says, can you summarize what the Google change is? In quick, easy terms, I'll do it in about 10 seconds here. Right here. Notice this, guys and gals. If I do a search, let's say I'm doing a search like best HD TVs, right? Whatever it is. There's no ads over here anymore. This happened just in the past week. You can see they're all in the top and bottom. So let's do sell my house fast, San Antonio as an example. So there's no ads over here. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 ads on the top now, which bumps your organic down a spot or two. And then you can see there's 3 down below. So many of you guys are probably going, what the heck does that matter? What does it mean? Well, we're going to dive into what that really means to you and your business, whether you're doing SEO or pay-per-click next week in more detail. We just don't have time for that today. All right. So people do their research before they make those big financial decisions, like I mentioned, even if they've heard of you from direct mail. So kind of go into this, the flooring company, one of their big brands is called Allure Flooring. And when you go to Google and start to type up some phrases, there's something called suggested search or auto suggest when you start to type things in Google. And what it's doing is Google is grabbing from its database of searches and it's saying, okay, you might be meaning this. And the way that they grab those suggested searches is basically by searches that they know are getting searched a good consistent amount each month, enough for Google to recognize that it matters. So as I type in the phrase around this company, one of their brands, Allure Flooring, what do you see pops up? Allure Flooring Review, Allure Flooring Home Depot, Allure Flooring Reviews 2015. As 2016 came into play, Lure Flooring 20 Reviews 2016 started becoming suggested search. And I could keep on going on and on. There's tons and tons and tons of conversations that were being started online. And I consider a Google search a conversation that's being started. Okay, if we were to even dig in even more on the Allure side of things, let's bounce here online. If I were to go over here, look at this, guys. So let's go ahead and do this. Allure Flooring. I'm just going to type in the word P. Allure Flooring problems. Look at this. So Google's telling me that people are starting these conversations. Allure Flooring problems. Allure Flooring planks prices. So if someone's starting a conversation about our brand, don't you think that we should probably be pretty darn involved in that conversation? With this client, they weren't involved at all. Literally, you would type up anything around their brand, and none of their websites, they didn't have any YouTube videos that were ranked. None of their stuff was anywhere on page 1 in Google. So what was happening was everyone else in their marketplace was controlling the conversation around their brand. And that's not a good thing. Okay. So how many of you guys are letting the marketplace control the conversation around your brand? Okay. And like I said, even if you're newer and you haven't really started to do a bunch of deals and a bunch of marketing yet, there will be a conversation going around your brand, no matter what. Okay. If you're talking to sellers, they're talking to their friends and family about their experience with you, and they might even be going online. Let's say you have a good or bad experience with someone, they might be going and posting it somewhere. You don't know. With this company, they have so many darn clients and so many darn customers that there's always going to be some problems, that pop up. Now, overwhelmingly, guys and gals, their product is amazing. You go onto HomeDepot.com and they're out of a 10, they're like a 9, 8 or 9.5 out of 10 in thousands of reviews from clients. But what usually happens online is the bad stuff pops up first. So if you've got some bad stuff popping up and other people are controlling that, what's happening? You're losing business. So what we did, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how we did this and how you guys can do it as a real estate investor as well. What we did is we started to go through and figure out all these conversations that are happening around our brand, around our brands, our name, our product names, our business name, whatever it is. Okay. And then what we started to do was we started to create content targeting, ranking for those things. Now look what's happening. We're completely controlling this conversation. We wrote a blog post that directly addresses most common issues, and we optimized it for Google to rank for that. Okay, it's not a complicated blog post, not very long. Look at that. We just implemented some things I'm going to teach you today. We went out and we did step 3 in this core conversation model. We went out and found people who loved their product and filmed videos of them and got them online. That's creating evangelists. That's helping your clients do the selling for you. And we optimized those videos in Google and YouTube for the things that people were typing in, Allure Flooring problems in there. Okay, because we want to make sure that we're delivering content that we want in front of people. And this guy did have a couple issues installing, but what he did was we asked him the questions. Okay, so how did you overcome those? He ended up saying, well, you know what? They ended up not being a problem at all. I did X, Y, Z, and we love the floor. So it's addressing the problem. This gal down here, we asked her the question, say, what kind of problems did you have when you were installing the floor? She goes, well, really, I love the floor, but if I had to pick one problem, there was this one problem. And it was a very small problem. She didn't know how to lay out the floor when she was doing it, but she told how they ended up overcoming that. And look at this, guys. Look at this one right here. 82,000 views since we uploaded this in 2013. If you can't say that is making a huge impact on their bottom line, it's making a huge impact on the bottom line. So how do we pull this in and relate it to real estate investors? Here's one of our clients, one of the biggest investors in the country, Express Home Buyers. And because they're a bigger company, you can see a lot of the things that people are typing in around their brand. But what you as a real estate investor can do as well, even if you're a smaller company, is you can find some of those bigger guys out there like Express Home Buyers, and you can go and type in their company names and see what people are typing about them. Because odds are what people are typing about them and their brand names, they're probably typing about you. You just don't have enough search volume for it to show up as a suggested search. So I can guarantee you that people, if you're doing direct mail or any type of marketing, people are probably typing in your company name review. They're typing in your company name scam potentially. They're typing in, let's try a few others out here. Okay, Express Home Buyers complaints. They might be typing that in about you. Okay, what else? Express Home Buyers program. I usually just go in here and type A and see what it suggests. B, okay, Baltimore. C, complaints, commercial careers. D, okay, E, education, okay, F. And I'll just keep doing this until I find things that look interesting that I can make some content on. G, H, I, J, like things that are kind of starting conversations I can join. H, I, J, K. You guys get the idea, right? Okay, right here, is Express Home Buyers legit? Okay, so if I were to click that, what do you guys see happening here? You see Express Home Buyers dominating that conversation. They're not letting the market do it for them. It's their Better Business Bureau there, which has no complaints. It's got a blog post that we helped them tweak and write. It's got this right here that they wrote around that keyword phrase. It's got a Washington Times article that they engaged in and got written. It's got their Yelp. They're controlling this conversation. Okay, so Express Home Buyers. Let's just do reviews. Okay, right there. So same thing with your own clients. People are typing this in, so don't make it an accident what people find. Control that conversation. So look at this, guys. There's actually a page on their site that we help tweak and optimize. It's called Express Home Buyers Reviews. We want to make sure that they're seeing the stuff we want them to see. Okay, not the stuff where there might have been that one person 5 years ago who had a bad experience or thought that they did and went online and started complaining about it. So look at that. Number 1, number 2, number 3 are all the ones they control. The next ones are Express Home Buyers Better Business Bureau, which they have an amazing A+ record. That's their Yelp. That's a Washington Times story that says positive things about them. That's a YouTube video. Guys, they're controlling the entire page 1 except for this one post right there. And that's pretty darn cool. Okay. So who on here can see the value in this first step? Who on here can see the value in really controlling your brand, no matter how small or big your darn brand is? Like I said, if you're just starting out, one of the first things you should do is make sure that your website is going to rank really good for when people type in the name of your company in your city. Okay, so let's do a little test here really quick. Someone on the call, throw out your company name in your city. Okay, and we're just going to do a quick search, and we're going to do a quick search and see what your clients or what your people who you're doing direct mail to or your bandit signs or whatever, what they're seeing. Okay. Okay, cool. So Darius, Helping Hands Solutions. What city are you in, Darius? Because a lot of times the people, they might type this in, and there might be 100 Helping Hands Solutions out there. Okay, and it looks like this probably is you. But let's say they go, oh, well, I'm in Las Vegas, so I'm just going to go ahead and add in. I'm going to go ahead and add in that. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if I can find you again, Darius. Yes, that is you. So most people would do that. They would then add in their location. So you can see right here, enough people are typing that in, Darius, each month that Google's even suggesting it as a search there. Okay, so let's see if Darius is controlling it. So the first thing we see is a Facebook page. Cool. Looks like this might be their house. Their website. This might be another one. So they're definitely controlling a lot of the stuff, which is awesome. And then they've got this over here, which is cool. So one thing I would do, Darius, is get some reviews over here. Get some reviews over here. Okay, because that right there is going to be a magical thing when you start to look that up. It's going to look amazing. Look at this. Okay, Express Home Buyers Baltimore. Look at the difference here. They've got some pictures. It's engaging. They've got a map. They've got 26 Google reviews, and that's not an accident. That's not an accident that they went through and got their clients to leave Google reviews, because they know if someone's typing this in, we want to make sure we're delivering that best overall experience. We're controlling the conversation. Okay. So you can definitely add some of that stuff, get some more photos in there. All right, man? Cool. So make sure that we're doing that, guys. Make sure we're doing that kind of stuff. Make sure your website is ranking well. Atlantic Property Management, Atlanta. Let's try that one really quick. Okay, cool. So it's showing up as a suggested search, which is cool. So it looks like your site's number 1, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and open some of these up. Okay. Right here. So they've got some reviews, which is great. 105. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. One thing I would do is take some of those testimonials and start to get some videos. Up there. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at some of these pages now. So Helping Hand Solutions. I come over here. I land here. So it's just a basic page, which is cool. Yeah, so that's fine. That's fine. That works. That doesn't help or really hurt the credibility. So you're a Carrot customer. Awesome, man. I love it. Cool. So those are all ranking really, really well for your stuff. So right here, now I land here on Atlantic Property Management. Is this building the credibility? Yeah, I think it's a great looking site. Cool. Let's go to the BBB. So it's a B plus. So if there's any things that you could possibly do to get that up better, awesome. But B plus is solid. So yeah, those two did a really good job controlling that conversation around their brand there. But like I said, there's so many other search phrases, not just the name of your company. It could be, you know, help in hands, solutions, complaints. Okay, what do we see there? Or it could be, you know, Atlantic. I don't remember what that one was. Okay, so look at that. So there are people typing Atlantic Property Management, Atlanta complaints. So what happens here is now your website is bumped down, and now Ripoff Report's up there, and your website's the number 3. The BBB is number 2. Your Yelp was number 1. So this right here, I would definitely tighten up this conversation that's happening. I would get some YouTube videos up. I would optimize them specifically for that phrase, Atlantic Property Management complaints. Okay, specifically for it. And what I would do is I would tweak it and go, okay, hey, you know, so one of your good clients. So what are some, maybe, you know, you already told us the amazing things you love about us. What are some of the complaints you might have that we can improve? Have them tell you those, and then have them show how you have rectified or will rectify those complaints, or that they're not even a big deal. So you address the elephant in the room, then you turn it around, and you get that video ranked really high. Okay, the same way that we have done with all this Allure stuff. Allure flooring, okay, Allure flooring reviews, Allure flooring complaints, whatever it is. You're going to see our videos all over the place. That's our video. That's our website. Okay. Use video, guys, big time. I'm kind of going over here because I'm kind of diving into this part a little bit more deeply. But make sure that you guys are focusing on those keywords. So what are they seeing? You know, what are they seeing when they do that search? Are you controlling that conversation? I'm going to show you guys how to do it. Okay. And like I said, the big thing is you want to make sure you're controlling the conversation so others don't do it for you. And just one lost deal because of lack of credibility online can cost you, you know, how much? For Atlantic Property Management, if you lose just one client who, let's say, has 10 properties, how much is that going to lose you? So that really shows the importance of making sure that we really tie up that entire conversation around our brand. Okay, you use video, you use some of the other things I'm going to show you here in a bit, and I'm going to show you guys how to optimize them if we have time to do that. Okay, if you're a house wholesaler, what's your average profit per deal? 10 grand. Okay, so if you're using direct mail and you have not been painting that entire, that controlling the whole conversation around your brand, what if you lose just one deal a year and you didn't even know you lost it? That's paying for a Carrot membership for an entire 10 years. That's, you know, leveraging, that's losing money and you don't even know it. I call it a phantom expense. So here's a simple content optimization tip. So you guys might be saying, okay, and I know I'm going kind of quick, guys, because like I said, this is an advanced call. There will be a replay where you guys can go back and rewind it and rewatch certain parts if you'd like, but I'm going to go kind of quick so we can get this out there. Is simple content optimization tip is inside of our system, inside of Carrot, we actually have an SEO tool, and we're building out some really robust SEO tools as we speak that I'm really excited about. But our SEO tool, you can go in there on a page and you can type in the keyword phrase that you're looking to start to try to rank for on that page. And our system is going to pull up search results from Google, suggest, and it's going to say, hey, here's some things that Google is sending us that are getting searched. And so you can see that's what that little list of things is coming down there. So as an example here, I just started to type up ABC home buy, and then our system is suggesting home buyers, ABC first home buyers. Very similar to what I was just showing you in Google Suggest. That's all built into our system. So what we do is we take that exact phrase that we find in Google or that we find here in the focus keyword tool, and we optimize that blog post, that YouTube video, that slide share. I'm going to show you guys what slide share is here in a bit. I'm going to optimize all of that for this exact phrase that we found Google told us. So as an example, ABC home buyer reviews. I'm going to put that in our focus keyword in our SEO tool. I'm going to take that exact phrase. I'm going to put that in our SEO title there, as you can see. And I'm going to make sure that I put it in the meta description. And then our system is going to walk through and guide me on how to make sure that blog post or that website page is optimized for that exact search phrase. So I want to make sure that everyone on this call, you're not looking at this going, oh my gosh, I've got to be an SEO expert in order to do this conversation marketing stuff. And that's not the case. I mean, really in general, what we're doing is we're going to Google or going to our SEO tool and typing stuff in and just seeing what is suggested. We take that and make it the title. We write some good content or put out a video, and we follow these colors. And these colors teach you what to do. Like, you don't have to be an SEO expert. And if you are a Carrot client and you're going through this and you have questions, you can always hit us up on live chat, show up on a weekly mastermind call, whatever, and we'll help you optimize that page. Just include it in your feed. Okay. So you would do the same thing on your other content. So this right here is on your blog post if you're an InvestorCarrot member. This over here, is on your YouTube videos. So you can see here on Express Home Buyers, they've taken this video of this client, which is a huge thing, a light bulb that should be going off in your guys' mind, is you guys need to be getting videos at as many possible closings of houses, rents of houses, a month, 2 months, 3 months after your Atlantic Property Management, after you lock down a new client, or as soon as you lock down a new client. One of my favorite questions is, awesome, well, I'm glad to work with you. I know you had a lot of options. What was the thing that really pushed you over the edge to work with us here at Atlantic Property Management? And they're going to tell you what it was and go, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Do you mind if I get that on video really quick with my iPhone? Because I think it could help a lot of people. Yeah, most people are going to say, yeah. You take the darn video with your iPhone right there. You got a piece of content you get on YouTube. This one video has been viewed almost 1,000 times. Can you imagine the credibility that's happening? I guarantee you, out of those almost 1,000 views, there's been at least one person, bare minimum, who this probably swayed them to do business with them when they maybe would not have otherwise. So make sure we're using that same keyword phrase and optimizing the content. Okay. So your homework for the brand side of things is to go into Google and start to type up things around your brand and start to type up all that kind of stuff. Like here's a really cool tool, guys. This will save you some time. Uber Suggest. This tool, Uber Suggest, basically does what I just did, where I typed in part of the keyword and then I did A and then B, and just to see what the suggestions were. I'm just going to go with this, just as an example. So Brad, if you're watching this, man, I know I talked to you on the phone the other day, but if you're watching this, hope you're okay with us using this as an example. Well, look at this. So you just type in a keyword phrase, and Uber Suggest goes online and finds other phrases that people are typing in that come from the Google suggestions. Okay, so right here you can see all these keywords. These are conversations. These are conversations that people are going online and starting that need to be engaged in. And every single one of these things, like right here, they don't scam people. They're an amazing company, but that's going on in those people's minds because they have heard about scams from home buyers. So you want to make sure you're delivering them amazing content that shows them that's not the way that you are. So this is a great tool there. Type in your phrase. Let's just do this. Atlantic Property Management Suggest. We'll see what comes up here. Okay. So some of the stuff might have nothing to do with what you guys are, because there could be a lot of companies called Atlantic Property Management. Okay, right here, Atlantic Property Management Reviews. I can click that. Look at the keyword, whatever. There's a lot of tools out there. This is a great one for that. Okay, so I would suggest going through and doing that. And over this next month, pick 10 of those keyword phrases and create content for it. It could be a blog post, it could be a video, it could be all of that. And I'm going to show you guys how to make that simpler here in a second. So the next thing we do after we tie up the brand, because we've really got to tie up the brand first, because if we do all this other marketing, and we know that almost 90% of people go online to research before they make a big financial decision, we know that all that other marketing you're doing, they are going online and researching you. So if you're doing that marketing and you haven't tied down your brand yet, and everyone else in the market's controlling that conversation for you, you're wasting marketing dollars. And you're basically doing all that marketing for the person to go to Google and start to search you and start to search, Helping Hands Real Estate Complaints, Helping Hands Real Estate Scam, Helping Hands Real Estate Reviews. And they might bail because they don't see what they need to see. So tie down the brand first. Now we're going to go to discovery. Let's join and control the conversations your market is already having. And there are a lot of conversations already happening in your market. Okay. Here's this graphic right here where I just kind of showed some examples in let's say Birmingham of someone who may need to sell their house. Now, most people focus on just the one or two keyword phrases in your market that everyone else in their dog is focusing on, right? If you're in Birmingham, most people are doing their SEO for sell my house Birmingham, sell my house fast, we buy houses, that kind of stuff. But that does not make up the vast majority of all the searches that are happening in that marketplace. Okay. Those keywords probably get the most searches of any singular keyword, but in aggregate, those don't make up, the vast majority of all the searches out there. So your competitors are just going after the we buy houses, just after the I buy houses, cash for houses, we buy houses, whatever. And you should go after those too, but the ones that are easier to get to and higher quality prospects and higher profit margin deals are the ones that are more specific. It's the conversations that people are starting that no one's engaging in. Selling a house without a real estate agent in Alabama. Could you imagine getting that lead? They want to work with you. Are we buy houses companies credible in Birmingham? That's an actual phrase that people type in according to our research. Selling an inherited house in Birmingham. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. These people actually have a specific scenario. That phrase gets searched in every single market in the country, according to our research. Selling a house during a divorce in Birmingham, same thing. That phrase gets searched in every single market in the country. Who is showing up for those phrases? Are you joining that conversation? Is it your competitors? If not, there's some really easy ways to join those conversations. And to kind of hammer that home as far as the keyword phrases, the popular keyword phrases, those top 3, 4, 5 keyword phrases that I mentioned, we buy houses, sell house fast, I buy houses, cash for houses, those kinds of things that most people are focusing on, according to research, really gets less than 10% of all of the searches. Okay. And then you go all the way further down to what's called the long tail. That's the phrases like sell my house without a real estate agent in whatever your location is. That's where the majority of the searches are. Now, it's definitely harder to tap into all of those long tail phrases because while there's 80% of the traffic, 80% of the conversations being started in that long tail, the longer search phrases, it's a lot more phrases as well. It could be 500 different phrases house sellers are typing in Birmingham. And those long tail ones might be getting searched 5, 10, 15, 20 times a month, but times 300, 400 of them, that's a lot of traffic. Okay, while the number one, for we buy houses, that might be getting searched 200 times alone with that one keyword. So there is definitely some trade-offs. Okay, but we're going to show you guys how we're making it happen, how we're dominating it. And most investors really focus too narrowly, like I said, and they're going after the stuff that's searched the least, and which means you're really leaving as much as 80% of the leads on the table if you're only going after those top 2 or 3 keyword phrases that everyone else is going after. And that's what I talk about in the emails that got you here is that clutter, that marketing clutter. If you're in a competitive marketplace, how do you crack through the clutter? Number one, we want to keep on going after those high traffic phrases because that's where a lot of the traffic is. But also, we need to make sure that we're working our mission in there. We need to make sure that we're addressing those questions, those objections, building that credibility with them with a different message. Okay. And then on the long tail, we're going through there on the Google search stuff and just typing stuff in and seeing what pops up and writing some content on it and adding your location at the end of it. I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay. And what you're going to want to do, so people are probably going, okay, that's amazing. So we know how and why we need to focus on this. But what's it actually look like? What's it actually look like to implement something like this in my business? So the first thing that you create, I'm going to walk you guys through an actual specific scenario here in a second. The first thing that you create is kind of what I call a hub. It's your hub that effectively converts visitors into leads. So it's hugely important that your hub, which I usually like to make my website, actually performs well. Because if all of your other stuff, if your YouTube videos, if your articles, if whatever it is, your direct mail, if all of that stuff is pointing toward your hub and your hub is not performing at a high rate, as in converting people into visitors into leads at a high rate, qualified leads, then all the marketing you're doing it's kind of like, lighting your money on fire, right? So this is possibly one of the most, or if not the most important step in the process is making sure you have a website that performs well. And this screenshot right here is one of our clients, Tarek and Christina. They're on HGTV's Flip or Flop. They use Carrot in Southern California. And when they moved over, they found that their performance with Carrot was higher than their other platform, which we find that time and time and time again. So next, after you create that hub that performs well, you need to start creating simple content that educates. So I want to really emphasize simple, because one of the mindset roadblocks that I had when, 4 or 5 years ago when I started to do conversation marketing, or a lot of people call it content marketing, is I was overthinking the process. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to be a great writer. I've got to write a lot of content. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And it was really kind of fear that was unwarranted. It was fear that was unfounded. Okay. And we just want to focus on delivering simple messages that are drilled down to those very specific conversations people are starting online. Okay. So what types of problems do your prospects have that they are starting conversations online about? So if you're looking for motivated house sellers as an example, now I'm going to go over to the property management side here in a bit, since I'm going to keep on kind of circling back to that one, because it's good to show different examples here. If you're looking for motivated house sellers, you want to really crack through that clutter, there's people who are going through probate. They inherited houses, and they're starting searches online that aren't the we buy houses, that aren't the sell my house fast. Okay, if someone's going through a divorce, they're probably making certain searches online that are related to their certain situation. If you're looking to buy properties, turnkey properties, there's certain things you're going to type in Google, and it may not be just investment properties in Atlanta. Okay, so what other things might they be typing in? And I'm going to show you guys some of that stuff. If someone's looking to potentially rent to own, one of the most common questions we've seen searched online is what is rent to own? So if I'm in Baltimore and I have a bunch of rent to own properties, you can bet that I'm going to have a whole page and probably multiple blog posts on my website that talks about what rent to own is. I'm going to go through that process that I showed you earlier to grab the keyword phrase you find from Google, put it into the focus keyword tool in Carrot, or if you're not using Carrot, in something else, and then go through the process of optimizing that content to have a better chance of ranking. The options are really endless. Okay, so if I was to go online here as an example, let's just do probate, and most people don't type probate. They inherited a house, so that's their situation. How to sell a house So look at this, guys, how to sell a house you inherited. So I would literally take that, and if I'm in Phoenix, and look at this, how to sell a house you inherited in Phoenix. That's a conversation someone started, okay? And the funny thing is, and honestly, this is the first time I've ever typed this phrase in the Phoenix market, and this is by complete accident. But this right here is one of our clients. He's one of the top investors in that area. And this website, guys, literally is less than 2 months old. Okay. So when I say before, when I said before that the SEO is a long-term play, the more competitive the keyword phrases you go after, the harder and longer it's going to be to get there. Okay. So one of the reasons we love conversation marketing is because these phrases are easier to rank for. They're quicker to rank for with targeted content. And the cool thing is, you're going to be getting less traffic for sure, but the person who lands here is going to be highly, highly qualified. It's going to be a highly, highly qualified person. So look at this conversation, guys. How to sell a house you inherited in Phoenix. This client did not write this article. Okay. They used our Content Pro system. They went through and just scheduled up some content. They went through here and went, okay, let's go here. I want a motivated house sellers. Actually, let's go do the motivated house sellers. We have some probate ones in here somewhere. Right there, house seller probate. We have some more coming out. We have new content coming out every month. They just went right here. Okay, I'm going to pick this site. I'm going to do 1 post a week. I'm going to start it here. They add the content. Bam. And some of the clients will then go through and tweak up those articles to kind of be a little bit more unique. They might add a picture in here or there, that kind of thing. Okay, and you can do that. And we suggest that if you want to spend 5 minutes on that tweaking it, you do, because it makes it a little bit more unique. But this guy didn't tweak anything except for maybe adding the picture. He's controlling the conversation, number one. And number two, look at this. How do I sell my house without a real estate agent in Phoenix? This has nothing to do with that, but he's ranking number 2 there for that with one of his other articles. This is conversation marketing at its best. Okay. Someone reads it, they're getting value. You're joining the conversation. You're not just throwing a marketing pitch down their throat. You're giving them value. You're showing them exactly what needs to happen. You're building credibility on your brand over here in your testimonials. This is a Carrot site. And then down here, always a very clear call to action. Okay, you can fill out the form and pick up the phone and give us a ring anytime to get a fair cash offer. Click here, goes to their homepage to get an offer. Okay, this is how the conversation marketing circle works and why it's so effective in generating leads and trust. Because They asked a question. You're just answering the question for them and giving them a good, logical, make sense path to solve their problem. Okay, you're not cramming marketing messages down their throat. Let's go over to the property management side. So property management, Atlanta, Georgia jobs reviews. So let's go here. Reviews. I would definitely do a blog post or a video called Property Management Atlanta Reviews. I would do best property management Atlanta, best property management companies Atlanta. Right here, I would do a piece of content on this. Joining the conversation. People are starting this conversation. We might as well join it and start to control it. Okay, and this would take just doing some things I'm going to show you here in the next 15 minutes. All right. This making sense, guys and gals? Am I going too fast? Am I bulldozing you? Like I said, this was not marketed as a beginner call. It's definitely an advanced call. Okay, so there will be a replay of this. Awesome. Courtney says this is awesome. Yep, Courtney, I'm gonna answer that question about videos here in a second, okay? Because we actually have a section on it. So once again, we already kind of went over this, but how do you find the conversations people are already starting online? Literally, guys, I use Google Suggest. That's all that I use most of the time. If I want to really dig in deeper, there's other tools out there like that Uber Suggest thing or whatever. If I was to dive into the back end of this InvestorCarrot client's website, just to show you our keyword tool in there. So let me just show you. So like I said, this client's brand new. Just in the last month or two. So if I was to go in here to blog post as an example, and let's say, right here, I'm going to go into this selling house in divorce. And like I said, they did not write this. This came from our Content Pro system. But if you go down here, so right here, this is our focus keyword section. Okay, this is our focus keyword section. And look at this. So once you start to type stuff in, our system will give you suggestions directly from Google. So if you're in Texas, guys and gals, there are people typing in selling property during divorce in Texas. That's a conversation that is being started. And I can guarantee you, if you were walking down the street, or if you were in a networking meeting, or if you were talking to someone and you heard someone next to you, or even the person you were talking to saying, "Oh, I'm going through a divorce. I really need to sell my house." I can guarantee you, if you're a house buyer, you would engage in that conversation. You would engage in that conversation, and you would start to talk to them. And you would start to tell them how you can help them, and you would answer their questions. So why are we not doing that online when this is where most people go first? This is exactly where we should be going online. We should be going online to do this, but most of your competition's not. And that's why it's so easy to cut through the clutter right now. Okay. So ask yourself, here's some homework for you on the discovery side. So I gave you some homework on the brand side. Here's some homework on the discovery side. Ask yourself this. What are the top 10 to 20 questions your prospects always ask you when you talk to them? Okay, write those down. That's one of the first things I do when we go in with the client or going into a market. We write down these are the questions that people always ask us. And we might as well write some content to combat these questions because they're probably asking them online. Okay, and if we can build that trust and credibility, we're cutting through the clutter. We are connecting directly with that person, closing the deal. Okay, the next thing is I would go online and see if you can find 10 to 20 suggested searches around scenarios that people would be needing your services. Okay. So once again, if I'm selling and buying land as an example, we're rolling out some land websites here very shortly. We're working on it today. People would be surprised. I was talking with a very high-end investor the other day, and he said, most people just don't go online to sell their land. And he said, we're probably just going to be using direct mail and this and that and whatever. I'm like, man, you'd be surprised. Let's just go online right now and see if people are starting conversations online about land. Sell my land. Look at this. Sell my land in Texas. Sell land today. How-to questions are always good. How to sell my land. How to sell my land myself. How to sell my land to a developer. That's a blog post I'm putting right there. If I'm in Portland, Oregon, and I have land or I'm buying land, I'm writing a blog post and doing a video called How to Sell My Land to a Developer in Portland, Oregon. And I can guarantee I'm going to crush that market then. Let's see. Problems when selling my land. Look, guys, problems when selling my land. Problems when selling my land in Oregon. So look at this. If I'm in Oregon buying land, I can guarantee I'm going to be creating content here, and I'm going to be Crushing it. So you guys get the idea. There's lots of people searching for things. Selling vacant land, selling bare land, okay? Tons of conversations being started online, guys. They're just ripe for the picking, okay? And the key is not going out there and just creating one or two blog posts or one or two pieces of content. I'm talking, this is a mindset shift. This is something you set out to dominate the market, cut through that clutter so no one else can catch up with you. Here's an example of some probate type article titles. And this is just a screenshot from our Content Pro system that I showed you. And for those of you who are not Carrot members, if you guys, because I'm getting some comments through here, people saying, hey, how can I tap into that Content Pro system? For those of you who are not Carrot members, we do have our monthly bundle offer that we open up at the end of each month for a few days. And we always offer a special bonus each month that's different than the previous month. We do have our bundle offer for February that I'm going to release to you guys today. It's oncarrot.com/special. And it basically gives you our top 2 traffic trainings, which normally are $100 a piece. It waives your first month's fee of Carrot and the Content Pro, which saves you $100. And the bonus is you're going to be getting an exclusive call with one of the top pay-per-click guys that we work with in the industry here in the next few weeks. It's going to be very, very detailed on diving in and crushing it on the pay-per-click side. And also, you're going to be getting some bonuses if you wanted to engage in him or have them do your pay-per-click or just even ask him questions. He's going to be giving you a free strategy session and also 37 days free of pay-per-click management as our bonus with this bundle offer. So oncarrot.com/special, that will be open until Sunday at midnight this weekend, and then it'll go away. You can always join Carrot at any time, but that'll save you $100, get you those 2 trainings, and I'll review all this at the end, and it'll get you that bonus pay-per-click call. This can be an advanced call. Going to really dive in, and you'll get 37 days of management free. Okay. So here's some ideas for probate. The probate process for a house, and we always add our city in there. And this is one of the keys. You should always add your city or your location or state in your content ideas. So right here, tax consequences when selling a house I inherited. So here's what we do. It's right here. Tax consequences of selling house So look at this. Tax consequences of selling an inherited house. Tax implications of selling a house you inherited. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my location in Indiana. Okay. So in Indiana, I'm going to take that and I'm going to make that the title of a blog post. And the reason for that is if I just wrote a blog post called Tax Implications of a House You Inherited and I didn't localize it, it's going to be really hard to compete. You're not going to be tapping into your clients. Okay. So we always localize it in Oregon. Okay. So people in Oregon are going to be getting this now, and it's going to be a lot easier to rank for that than to rank for a national phrase. All right. So there's some ideas. Just kind of play around with that. We don't have a whole lot of time to do more of that research. We can always do that in our mastermind calls each week for you Carrot members, and just reach out to us. So repurpose your content and then point it all back to your lead gen hub. So once you've started to get those ideas, you've written down your 10 to 20 questions your prospects ask you every time you talk to them. You've written down the 10 to 20, Google suggest article ideas. You've added your location in there, and you've started to write that content. Now, what do? Now, we like to kind of keep things easy, and I do what we call repurposing content. And the reason that we do this, and this is a huge, huge tip for y'all guys. I mean, this right here is a huge tip. Once we started doing this, things really started to take off. The last thing that you want to do is work hard or pay someone to do content and have that content go on your blog one time, and that's all that you do with it. And it goes there. Some people see it. It's like, oh, that's cool. We put in that time and expense to make it, but we're really limiting ourselves to the people who can see it by just putting it in one spot. So what we do is we make sure that we take that one content piece. It could be that article about how to, the tax implications of selling a house I inherited in Oregon. I wrote a blog post about it. Now I take that blog post and I repurpose it into a video. I put it into into a system called SlideShare. I'll upload that video to YouTube. Okay. And I might even write a few variations of that article that touch on different sides of the tax implications on probate. Okay. And so now I turned that one blog piece into 3, 4, 5 different content pieces with half the effort. Okay. And then I take that and I upload it and share it to my social media accounts. So to my Facebook page and LinkedIn or wherever it is, whatever social media accounts you actively use. Now, I don't want you to go out there and set up social media accounts just because of this, because you can crush it without any social media at all. Okay, you don't have to have a Facebook page, you don't have to have a Google Plus, you don't have to have LinkedIn, you don't have to have any of that. But if you're ready to kind of stack on, those can help you get these content pieces out to more people potentially. So some of the tools we use, like I said, is we'll write a blog post, we'll take that blog post and we'll turn it into a PDF, or we'll turn it into a slide presentation. It takes 15, 20 minutes. You can hire that out really easily as well, very cheaply. And then we'll upload it to this system called SlideShare. I'm going to show you what that is here in a second. And then we'll optimize that SlideShare for the exact same phrase that I optimized the blog post for. And then we'll take that content and we'll do a YouTube video. And the YouTube video could be as easy, literally, as you sitting at your desk, or you at a house, or you talking to one of your prospects and saying, hey, so if you inherited a house recently here in Oregon or Washington or one of the other areas that we work with clients, you're probably looking at the tax implications that you're going to be seeing when you sell that house. So in this video, I'm actually going to walk through the 5 tax implications that you're going to see, and you're going to see this blog post behind on this screen that I'm walking through as well, or you can head over to our website to see the written version of this. And here's the 5 tax implications. I'm going to walk through the 5 and then always give a call to action. Hey, so if you're looking to sell that house you inherited here in Oregon, we can actually help. We actually buy houses in Oregon. We pay really great fair offers, no hassle, no obligation whatsoever. And, you'll avoid the real estate commissions. You'll avoid the fees. We can close very, very quickly. All you have to do is head over to our website at mywebsite.com, and you can learn about how we do it. And you can also submit your information or give us a call at blah. So literally, guys, if I was videoing that right there, that took a minute and a half to do. I take that, I upload it to YouTube. I optimize the YouTube page and YouTube video for that same phrase, and then we let it roll. And we don't have time on today's call to really dive into great detail on how to optimize a YouTube video. That's a whole nother separate call. If you're a Carrot member, we do have a mastermind call that's specific on that topic. And also, as a part of our bundle offer for this month, you do get access to our 3 lead per day training, which one of the modules is a very, very detailed module on YouTube video marketing. So you can take this module, literally get the checklist, you can hand it over to your assistant, you can hand it over to a virtual assistant as soon as you got that video created, whatever. And this is just going to walk you through exactly how to optimize your videos and everything. Okay. It's the same thing that we implement for our clients to get rankings like this, to drive 82,000 views for this one video for our client. All right. So the next thing is SlideShare. So SlideShare is LinkedIn actually bought SlideShare within this past year. And SlideShare basically makes it to where, like I said, you can upload a PDF or a slide document like a Keynote or a PowerPoint to SlideShare. And it's just an easy way to share your slides. Now, people might be going, well, why the heck would I want to upload a slide, right? The reason for that is these things can rank pretty darn well. And I'm just going to show you this right here for proof. So content marketing for real estate investors. That's kind of longer tail key phrase. Look at this, guys. So content marketing for real estate investors. There's these people paying money to be there. I took a blog post that we did in 2013, and you can see the staying power of this. This is why your ROI starts to get better. I took a blog post I did in 2013. We turned that into a video, and then someone on our team took that, and we just literally took the slide presentation from that video that we did from that mastermind call, and we turned it into a darn SlideShare. Look how many times it's been viewed. 2,291 times. And now when people go in here, we're directing them to our website, all kinds of things like that. Okay, but this SlideShare is just another way to join that conversation, get in front of your people. So right there's our SlideShare. There's our blog post. There's another blog post about it. Okay, so we're really taking, there's a video of ours. Okay, so we have 4 or 5 of the top 10 results here. So we really don't give a crap that Google changed their stuff. Okay, because now there's less distraction over here, which I think is good. And then yes, it does bump our organic listing down a spot or two, but still over 80% of all searchers trust the organic listings more than the paid listings. That's why the number one organic listing gets 30 to 40% of the through rate, the clicks, when the number one paid listing usually gets about 7 to 10%. Okay, now it will adjust a little bit, I'm sure, with this change. We're going to find out what that is over the next coming months. But this, in my prediction, is still going to get the vast majority of the traffic. And SlideShare helped us get it there. And we just repurpose that content. And SlideShare is free. You guys can set up a free account. And we've actually used SlideShare for a lot of our clients to do testimonials. We've got our testimonials in here. So we took that testimonial video that the client shot with the person at the closing table. We put in things that they said, and we just made some very, very simple slides. Okay. And then we always have a call to action. Just as we bought this happy seller's home, we can buy yours too in Washington, D.C. Call us here. Go to our website. We link directly to the website from here. Put in some credibility. Okay, bam. So that's what SlideShare can do for you right there. And then we also put the video in here. So look how powerful this is here. Okay, and this one, SlideShare, has been viewed 58 times. So if someone came through here and they shuffled through some of that, now we're directing them to our website and shuffling them through that video. We're just completely controlling the conversation. Okay, and like I said, it looks like it's kind of complicated, but honestly, it's not. It's not. It's a matter of, it all starts with, okay, let's shift the mindset to joining conversations. Let's go out there and find some things that people are typing into Google. Let's get a very simple blog post going. Let's sit in front of the camera and talk through that blog post. Okay, or pull up, not even sit in front of the camera if you don't want to, pull up some slides like I'm doing here, and you'll have 5 slides. Hey, here's the five tax consequences of selling your house that you inherited in Oregon. And then the last slide, maybe the 6th slide, is a call to action. Hey, give us a call or go to our website. You film it and get it up online. Okay, and the flow is kind of like this. So you take that article, you would create a video out of it, you'd create a SlideShare out of it, and then what we do is we then share all of those on our social media profiles, which helps them to get out there, but also sometimes can help you get those ranked better in Google. Okay, and we're going to have this whole process broken down very, very detailed in our 3 lead per day training sometime soon, and we also have a mastermind call we're going to be doing, breaking the process into even more detail and repurposing your content for those of you who are Carrot members. Okay, so one huge key. So let's say now you've got your brand stuff locked up. You've got some content created there. You've started the discovery phase where you're creating new content there. And really, guys, this process really never ends. With Carrot, we're always creating new content. We're always putting stuff out. I suggest on a weekly basis. And like I said, it sounds kind of daunting, but you can hire people to do the stuff. You can use a tool like InvestorCarrot that kind of streamlines the process for you to make it easier. Or you just carve out an hour a week, and just go through there and create that content. It doesn't take much time. It just kind of takes the decision that this is important, that this is the future, and this is what's going to help you crush it. Okay. So once you've got that stuff going, you need to make sure on your website that you have solid lead source tracking in place, because you could be doing all that marketing. You could be putting stuff in YouTube and stuff here and stuff there. If you don't know where your traffic and where your leads are coming from, then you don't really know where to focus more of your energy and time. Okay, and you can see over in this picture here, this is just a screenshot from one of our Carrot clients' websites here in Oregon. And we have this thing called the lead source tracker, and it shows exactly where those people came from. So you can see that lead right there, seller lead, came from a SlideShare that we created for this person. They're one of our higher end clients. They're paying for basically our team to dive in and implement a lot of this strategy for them. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. It's well into the thousands, but you do one deal and that's you 10 to 20 grand. Okay, so you can see that lead came through the SlideShare for them. All right, and we wouldn't have known that unless we would have had a lead source tracker in place. So that's a huge tip, guys and gals. If you do not have a lead source tracker in place, and this is actually the back end of that client's website, and they aren't doing any pay-per-click or any of that stuff right now. It did take 4, 5, 6 months to start to get a trickle of leads, and now the leads are becoming more consistent, and they're going to start getting more and more and more consistent as we go. But you can see here, lead sources came from Google search, Facebook, Google Directs. That probably could have been Craigslist or direct mail, Google Direct, SlideShare. So make sure that you know where those leads are coming from. It's very, very important. Okay. All right, and keep throwing questions in, guys. I'm going to answer them here in a second. Now, we're not going to have time to dive into the the conversion side of things. We've gone into that many times in these monthly calls. So check the archives of the replays, or we actually have an entire call on our website set up that you guys can check out. Let's go to oncarrot.com. Okay, let's go to oncarrot.com, and then you're going to be able to go to resources. And if you go to resources here, we have this website conversion checklist call that we did here, and a whole checklist you can download. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. It dives into everything, that's going to help you make your website perform better. So we're going to skip that section today and just focus on evangelism and let you guys get going. Okay, so the last part here, we've locked down the brand. Okay, that's going to help you save money, save deals, cut through that clutter. Okay, number 2, we're starting to go after the discovery phases when people are going out there, typing things in, starting conversations. We're joining those conversations, even those long tail ones that are long searches, but you're just going in there and crushing them. And over time, as you're putting out a piece of content a week or every other week or whatever, and you start to repurpose some of that stuff, really all we're talking here, guys and gals, is a couple hours a week to do all that. A couple hours a week to do all that. It's not like 5 hours a week, or it's a couple hours a week. Put a piece of content together, repurpose it into a SlideShare, a YouTube, and optimize it according to our training. Okay, a couple hours a week. That's going to make a massive difference for you over the long run, long-term ROI. And then what we like to do, is create evangelists out of our clients. So we want to be turning our best clients into our best salesmen. And this video is so funny. If you go to YouTube, I would highly suggest everyone look at that. Everyone look at this video. If you go to YouTube and type YouTube, we have this client in Atlanta, a very active house buyer there, and you can just go to their YouTube channel and find it. This right here is a great example of a type of a video, and they just uploaded it 2 months ago. They had it somewhere else. It was like stored in their server, and we said, guys, get that online, get it into YouTube, optimize it for the name of your company, put it in testimonial. It's got 49 views already. But I would suggest going through and watching this, okay, because yours don't have to be put together this well. They definitely spent a little bit of money to have it put together. But the story...
I'm Ellen Maines. John bought a house from my mother.
The story and the way that she tells it is so funny and so great. She blasts through objections right in the video, where she said, I was skeptical at first. I was really skeptical. My first visit with John, I actually had my shotgun in the back of the car. And then she goes, because I was worried, it's my mom. I want to make sure I'm protecting my mom. And she said, but John was the most amazing guy. She helped him. It was actually easier than she thought it was going to be. He actually made her an offer that was more fair than she thought it was going to be. I mean, it brought up these conversations that are going on in those skeptical sellers' minds and squashes them right with that video. Okay, so we want to make sure that when we're going and closing deals or signing on a new property management client, or even getting a new tenant for a property, or getting a new private lender, or we closed a deal with a private lender and got them paid off, we get those opportunities to get those stories from them. If you can get them in video, that's the best possible thing. If you can get them in writing and a picture of them shaking your hand or something like that, that's next best. And then what we want to do is we want to do the exact same thing here. We want to optimize these for the phrases that people will be typing in if they're researching your company. Atlanta house buyer testimonials, Atlanta house buyer reviews, Atlanta house buyer scams, or stuff like that. Even though we know that this company is not a scammer, they're an amazing company. People are thinking those things, they're typing them. We need to be delivering the content that we want in front of them, okay, and then squashing that content with having our best clients do the sales for us. If you go through and research InvestorCarrot reviews, you can see how deliberate we are with this. Okay, InvestorCarrot reviews. So right here, this number 1 is an ad of ours. This number 2 is one of our clients who's turned into one of our best evangelists. I mean, this guy's an amazing evangelist of ours. He wrote a blog post about us. This right here, there's all kinds of conversations going on about us inside of Bigger Pockets. What's happening is we're engaging in those conversations. A lot of our competitors are not. So if you go and see these threads in Bigger Pockets, our customers are diving in there and telling their story. Right here, another one of our customers is telling their story. Right here, our own blog post, customer telling their story. This right here, same thing, guys. So make sure that we're going through there and doing that. We go to YouTube. InvestorCarrot case study or reviews or whatever, you're going to see we go through and we film videos like this. We eat our own dog food, as they say. So we go through and we'll film a video with our clients and they share their story. We dive in and teach people in here. And by the end of it, we have hundreds, or some of these have thousands of views in them. So it works very, very well. Like I said, it works in the flooring side. That one had 85,000 views in that video. It works like gangbusters, guys. So make sure that we're creating a great salesman out of our evangelists. And then if you want to go balls to the wall with it and make it amazing, do what Express Home Buyers has done or what we did for them. And once again, guys, this is not something we can do for every client for free. We within Carrot, we take a very small handful of what we call high-end clients, and it's anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month. And we're just going and we're doing it all for them. And that type of client really is someone who should be doing at least 10 to 50 deals a year. Most of these people are doing well over 10 deals a month that we're able to work with on that hands-on. But the cool thing is we have the training that you can just dive in and just follow what we say and just do it all yourself for free. Okay. Not for free. You got to buy the training, but as far as the implementation, it's free. So I want to throw a weekend challenge at you. I want to throw a challenge at you guys. Before Sunday at midnight, do one piece of content and get it online before Sunday. Okay, no excuses, just action. And the reason I'm throwing this out at you is because one of the biggest reasons people do not do conversation marketing is because they have a fear of creating content. They have a fear of thinking that content is hard. Guys, this call right here, I've just created 2 hours of content. I just sat down in front of my computer, I'm talking to people. Okay, what can you do in this next hour, this next day, or whatever it is with your phone, like that guy? Take your phone, turn it on yourself, or whatever you want to do, and create some content. Okay, go out there and make it happen. And then upload it on YouTube. Follow the things that I taught you and how to optimize it, how to find the keyword phrases people are typing in. Make a blog post out of it. Put that YouTube video at the top of that blog post. Okay, and we have all the training and a lot more detail in our training. And like I said, really what we're talking about here is a mindset shift. You need to make a mindset shift every day. Okay, because people are always going, oh my gosh, content is so hard. You know, it's hard. So that's why we are shifting from content marketing to conversation marketing. It's way easier to absorb and to accept. Yeah, conversations, that's easy. I can join conversations versus content. Oh my gosh, got to create content. We're just joining conversations. We happen to be doing that by creating pieces of content. And the cool thing is every single day, you're already creating content. You're already creating it. Okay, you guys at the Atlantic Property Management, you guys are creating a ton of content every day. You're just not recording it. Okay, you go and talk with a new prospect, and they're asking you these questions. You tell them the questions. That's content. Or they sent you some email. They sent you an email and asked you these questions, and you're delivering them your top 5, unique selling propositions or whatever. That's a blog post right there. Okay, you need to be leveraging the content that you're already creating and actually put it online for people to see in a more repetitive and consistent process. Flip or flop. Okay, Tarek and Christina, guys, they're doing exactly what other people who are going out there buying and selling houses are doing. The only difference is they have a camera following them around recording it. Okay, so those of you who are going out there flipping houses, you're creating as much content as Tarek and Christina are. They just happen to have someone filming it. So if you could whip out your phone or have someone come in every now and then and just film some stuff or take some pictures or whatever, just do that and get that stuff up online. Okay. And like I said, I'm not going to be able to dive into this part today, but we do have an entire training video that walks you through a lot of this stuff. Just showing you how effective a website that performs better can be to your bottom line. Like Jim here is seeing a higher performance on his rent to own leads versus his old sites, things like that. And then one huge thing, and we're going to be going into this a little bit next week, is the mobile side of things. Okay. Over 50% of all the leads that come in through our platform now, guys and gals, are on mobile devices. Okay, over 50%. Right here, that screenshot I showed you earlier, 86,000 leads, over 50% are on mobile and tablet when you add them up. That's huge, guys, and that keeps on growing. So it really shows the importance of making sure that your website is not just mobile friendly and not make sure that your content is not just mobile friendly, but it performs at a high rate on mobile. So if you go to responsive.oncarrot.com, okay, guys, responsive.oncarrot.com, and you type that in, you can go test your website to see what it looks like on a cell phone. And there's certain things that you're going to find are things that are required to make your websites perform better on cell phones. It's the reason why ours performs so darn well is because we have a full-time team dedicated to seeing these trends, seeing the things before they happen. We build them into our website so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, your websites are always mobile responsive. And those clients who are on the calls here, it's funny. I had a client, Mark, out of Vegas, actually email us last night at like 10 o'clock, and I happened to be on, shot him back an email. And he said, shoot, he goes, my HostGator hosting account, they shut it down because one of his other websites on there that was not a Carrot site, had something happen to it. It got hacked or whatever, and HostGator shut it down because it was compromising their system. And he's like, oh my gosh. And the good thing is he just moved his Carrot, his site over to Carrot about a month before. So his Carrot site is not down. It's still up. We focus on all that tech stuff so he doesn't have to. We focus on the server stuff. We focus to make sure you're not getting hacked. We focus to make sure you're always not just mobile optimized, but your website performs better than the other guy in your market on mobile. So go to responsive.carrot.com, test it, and see what it looks like. Okay. So make sure you guys fit in your why. Make sure you fit in your why, because it really matters in your content. Don't just put what you can do, but put why you do it in your content. You join the conversation with content. Don't sit on the sidelines and let others control the conversation. And then focus on taking the quickest and most effective path to a high-performing website. Okay, don't let that be a barrier. So where are you going to put that energy this year? And I actually have a 2 o'clock meeting with my CPA, so we're not going to have much time for questions. I'd be glad to have an extended question time after, for next week, or you guys can send me questions directly at trevor@oncarrot.com, and I'll be glad to answer those questions. Okay. But what I will show you guys is the bundle offer for this month. And with this, if you're not a Carrot member, this would be a great opportunity for you to really ramp up and improve your online lead generation, really come into our fold where we can, on a weekly basis, we have mastermind calls where you can come in and ask things. We teach things way more detailed than today, more drilled down on a weekly basis, and help you dive into your own strategy. All of our websites are science-based. We're always testing, we're always tweaking, we're always improving based off of performance, not off of prettiness. We always focus on ROI versus making things as pretty. Okay, and our websites do look pretty though. We also have the most innovative online marketing training for investors, and we have an amazing team behind us. I mean, just an amazing team here. Anyone who is a Carrot member can attest to this. So if you come aboard, here's going to be how it kind of works. Okay, you'll join Carrot. We'll go to oncarrot.com/special, get the bundle offer, save $100, get access to this advanced pay-per-click call with Dan next month. And if you guys want him to manage your AdWords, you'll get a month free. And that saves you $1,000 right there. So right here, as soon as you create an account, you're going to be able to launch your websites. And once you launch your websites, you're going to get access to some analytics and content marketing system, things like that. You're going to go here and create a website, pick from sellers, buyers, main company, credibility, rent to own, note buyer. We'll have land websites here shortly. Okay, and then you can go in there and view your website. You can start editing it, you can start customizing it, getting your logo in, your colors, getting your testimonials, your videos, tweaking up your content. Okay, and then anytime you have any questions or problems, we're always here to turn to. You can always go to look at our mastermind call recordings, dive through our Carrot guide, which streamlines the process of making it happen for you, and our tutorials. And we have amazing support as well. Okay, and then once leads start to come in, you can use our system to kind of look at those leads and send them out to whatever CRM you like to use. And then you can see your lead source, so you know what's working and what's not. Okay, and then you're going to get an email when the leads come in. And you can also turn it on so you can get a text message on your phone with the leads as well. And from right there, you'll get the basic info. That info is saved into your Carrot account, and you can get a text message. And you can do some cool stuff. Okay. And we always really aim for creating awesomeness with our clients. That's our whole aim. Is we have this thing within our company called the thread of awesomeness, and it's to get as many amazing things, results for our clients that they feel compelled to tell us those awesome things, and we share those within our own company. Okay. So the bundle offer, guys and gals, is kind of blowing through here. Like I said, there will be a replay. This bundle offer will be open until Sunday at midnight this weekend, so you don't have to it's not this rush to the back of the room and buy. You can buy Carrot next month, next year. We're going to be here. Okay. But this is just a great chance to save $100, get access to this advanced marketing call on the pay-per-click side. Anyone who is already a Carrot member is already going to get access to that pay-per-click call with Dan. Okay. But you're going to get the Content Pro plan, which enables you to launch up to 3 websites in our platform, so you can kind of mix and match the types. Or you can just choose one website. It doesn't matter. You're going to get access to our weekly mastermind call, which is a huge value. You're going to get access to our content marketing system, that thing I showed you before that got that trusted home buyer in Phoenix got him to have his blog post ranked really high in that market. That's all included. It's only $100 a month. It also includes all your hosting. You'll never have to worry about mobile, staying mobile compliant and performing well on mobile. We have an amazing support team, and just the time you're going to save in engaging with our support team and the headaches on server stuff is worth the amount alone. And I forgot to, there's a general carrot coolness too, which is always a cool part of it. So on the traffic side of things, we definitely talked about how to attract the traffic a little bit, but you're going to get access as a part of this bundle offer to our 3 lead per day training. And it's 9 modules, all the way from SEO, from basics to advanced. You're going to go, YouTube marketing, pay-per-click marketing is in there. All this stuff. We're going to show you how to outsource your work if you want to outsource it. It all comes with checklists, videos, and descriptions. That's going to be included in this right here. And Jack Morris says the lead quality has been pretty good. To get a mix of investors selling properties, sellers wanting retail, legitimate, motivated sellers with wholesale. I normally close 1 to 2 deals per month from leads generated from Carrot site. And the funny thing is that was from about a year and a half ago. I did a case study with him just recently. We're going to be publishing. He does 4 to 5 deals a month now, and all of his deals are coming from Carrot. You're also going to get access to our Craigslist marketing training. And Craigslist is working great. And it's one of the things I suggest everyone do Craigslist training within that first 90 days. It's a very, very good short-term traffic plan while you're building up that content marketing side. So you're going to get Craigslist ads, several video modules. And here's Dan from Boise. This is just from a couple weeks ago. I reached out to him and says, "What's up, Trev? Won't be making it down this weekend. Bummed, but things are moving steadily online with the online ads. Picked up 3 properties of the last 2.5 months, which 2 of them will be rent to own, and the other one flip. That was a mix of Craigslist and his SEO has started to generate some leads." Okay, so the Craigslist marketing does still work in certain markets if you do it right, and we're going to show you how to do that in that training. And like I said, you're going to get access to our weekly live mastermind call. We have them every Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time. You can come on and ask us questions. We'll dive into your specific situations and help you optimize things. We'll look at your websites, look at your marketing, look at your SEO, all that stuff, and we'll diagnose it for you right there. And then let's recap. So you're going to get those trainings. You're going to get our weekly mastermind calls. You're going to get some other bonuses. You can have your first website literally live here in the next 10 minutes. Your price is never going to increase, so we're not going to be pulling any shenanigans on you. You can upgrade anytime, cancel anytime, downgrade anytime, add more websites. And this does come with a 30-day guarantee. So if you join, like, hey, you know what, day 28, this just isn't for me, just let us know. We'll refund it. And it's only $199 today, and then $99 a month after that. Okay, and that includes everything you see there, including our content marketing system, where we publish 12 new content pieces a month that you can then go and schedule up on your website. In addition, you're going to access about 90 or 100 that are already in the system. And we go do the research. We create the content. You can go there, schedule it up. If you want to do basic tweaks on it so it's a little bit different, and then let it roll. Okay, so on carrot.com/special, $199 today, and then $99 a month. This does go away. This bundle offer does go away Sunday at midnight. And like I said, everyone who joins by Sunday and everyone who is already a Carrot member is already going to get this. Is we're doing 2 calls with Dan. One call is going to be next week on the Google pay-per-click update. It's going to be a shorter call and what that's going to mean. What happened this past week with Google and what that means to you with your pay-per-click and SEO. And then we're trying to twist his arm. We're twisting his arm to do this other call for our in our mastermind that you're going to get access to. This is going to be a closed-door mastermind call with Dan, the CEO of AdWords Nerds, really diving deep into big changes, but also the most effective keywords that they're finding are working in AdWords, the strategies that they're finding that are working in AdWords. So you can stack this on top of your conversation marketing if that's something that you want to do. And he's also offering our members 37 days of free AdWords management when you go through this. So that alone is $199 value. The AdWords management, normally the fee's $1,000 a month, so you get $1,000 in value there. And if you're looking at doing pay-per-click, that's going to be huge value. If you're not looking at doing pay-per-click, no big deal. You're still getting a massive value in our offer with the trainings, with the mastermind calls, the content marketing system, and just leveraging our website platform that performs better than the most, making sure that you're not leaking leads and losing deals because of an underperforming website. So go to oncarrot.com/special. That's going to be up until midnight. Or not midnight, until Sunday. So I'm going to go through, guys and gals, and I'm going to see if there's any questions I can answer right away here. Awesome, Peter. Peter says, got to run, Trevor. Time well spent. Peter says, do you recommend videos and landing page work embedded to the left of the form? Man, they can work. It's a little bit difficult with mobile now because when you click a YouTube video on mobile, it opens up and it takes you actually away from the web page, and you have to go back on your cell phone to the web page. So we suggest on mobile devices, especially, not focusing your main calls to action inside of videos. Courtney, we just signed up yesterday, and this already, you guys are proving that it's totally worth it. Awesome, Courtney. I love it. Kyle says, so do you recommend taking your content marketing posts and creating a video slideshow and social media? Yes. We want to make sure that whatever content you're creating, man, you're using more than once, because you don't want to be putting that time and effort and money into creating that content and only having one way to use it. Okay. You want to make sure that you're repurposing that in multiple different ways for sure. Yes, it's going to be released, the Craigslist stuff. Yep, Joseph. Joseph says, can you please post the link for the special for Carrot? I'm going to do it right here, guys and gals, on carrot.com/special. Send it to everyone through the chat panel there. Will there be separate training, course membership in this specifically? Yeah, we are going to be doing a separate training on conversation marketing. But like I said, man, literally, we've been doing this for years, but I finally came up with that methodology and the way to teach it and the way to relay it in a very simple way about a month ago. So we're just now getting through it. Awesome content, by the way. It says, sign up for the Content Pro package. Any chance I could get a hand optimizing the site for UK-based market? Yeah, dude, reach out to us. Reach out to us at support@oncarrot.com. And that'd be a perfect thing for us to dive into on a mastermind call one of these days too. Okay. JB says, not sure, but do we need a new paid Carrot site for each conversation? No. So what we do is, if you're focused on motivated sellers, set up one Carrot site for motivated sellers, no matter if you're investing in 5 markets or 1 or 100. And then you'll just launch different pages that are specific to the areas. We teach you how to do it, but we want to make it as simple. Okay. Ivan says, so your system creates content for all the popular searches for that seller type. We just have to copy, customize, and put it on our blog. Kind of. So every month we go in and do research. We create 4 articles for sellers, 4 articles for buyers, and we have 4 what we call floater articles. It could be rent to own, it could be whatever. And we have a stockpile of about 100 that are already in there. And so we write the articles. Our system automatically spins them for your location. It puts your location in there. It does about 60% of the optimization for you. And then we suggest that you spend 5 minutes, maybe whatever, tweaking it to make it more unique to you. Okay, so it saves you about 90% of your time, and it saves you about $200 to $300 a month if you were to write that content yourself or have someone to do it for you. Okay, I got to go, guys. I'm going to go through and look at the archives of this and answer these questions, but I've got to go. I'm already I should be at the CPA's office right now. So I'm going to jet. I appreciate the heck out of everyone on carrot.com/special. And I'm going to go through and look at all these questions, and we will email you directly with an answer to your question if I was not able to answer it right now here in the next 3 or 4 days. Okay. Thank you guys. Have an amazing, amazing time. And, last one. If I already have a website paid for to get optimized recently, can I transfer to InvestorCarrot from Wix? Peter, email us on that one, man, because we'll need to look at your Wix page. We'll need to look at all that stuff and see, because Apple, it's not always an apples to apples thing. Okay? All right, man. We'll see you later. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing time on carrot.com/special. Hope you got a lot. See you later.